What's going on, folks? It's D. White, founder of justblackthoughts.com, and I'm just a black male educator giving you some thoughts. Today's topic is success mindset. Scratch that. Progress mindset. And you're probably wondering, what's the difference? Well, as a teacher, we make big investments with our time, our energy, our money, our love, our sweat, our tears, sweat equity. And the thing is, we need to be okay with it being incremental gain, incremental improvement, incremental refining of your practice and your craft. Like anything, it takes time, right? In 1 year, you're going to learn so much about yourself. You'll learn so much about young people. And that's just the start. I'm going into year 12, and I'm still learning something new because the students are changing, the times are changing, and I want to adapt, and I want to have the ability to pivot and to change and to adapt and to better tailor my teaching to my students. So with this idea of the progress mindset, again, it's about moving forward, and it may feel slow, but you're developing this really deep repertoire of techniques, skills, and ways just to better serve and work with our young people. And if you see me look to my left, I'm looking at my notes. The progress mindset, the first thing you need is goals, professional goals with your students. And these goals are not done in a vacuum, right? Set some goals with your mentor teachers, set some goals with your students, and have them set their own goals, as well as incorporate the families, the guardians, the custodians, because, it's a collaboration, it's a partnership in order to best serve our young people. So when you set those goals, it'll be easier for you to create learning objectives. It'll be easy for you to create metrics and how to evaluate yourself as well as the students' progress. And it will help you obviously develop curriculum that gets you moving, right, towards those milestones, towards those goals for those young people. Another thing about the progress mindset, it's about failing forward, failing fast, meaning it's experimental. And when I say experimental, I don't mean experimenting at the expense of young people, right? Of course, you want to make sure you have your lesson plans right and tight as best you can, but you got to be open to trying different things based on what the kids' needs are. And it's that interesting reciprocal kind of choreography we have as teachers, right? It's not to say that it's a one-directional relationship, as in I teach, you learn, because you can teach all day, but that doesn't necessarily mean kids are learning what you are teaching. And so it's really important to try things, ideate, execute, refine. Those are some of the things I learned from the techies out here in the Bay Area. I'm originally from Texas, but I've learned that from the techies out here in the Silicon Valley that, you try something, troubleshoot it, evaluate it, try it again, refine it, and you keep the process going, and you rinse and repeat. Now, also with the progress mindset, you have to be ready to abandon things. Some lessons just don't work. They may have worked this year, may have worked with this group of students, but it's not a one size fits all. So you can't be married to one type of unit or one curriculum. Now, the ideas, of course, you want certain ideas, certain skills you want your kids to develop, but the thing you may have to change is how you go about teaching and how you go about instructing the young people to master those skills. And with that said, progress mindset's about movement and mobility. And when I say that, I mean literally in your classrooms, forget lecture, man, circulate. Talk at the board, challenge yourself to talk at the board no more than 7 minutes and get off stage and circulate, right? Because you'll learn so much from watching the kids, right, versus the kids watching you. Don't get me wrong, you need to model some things for them for sure. You need to workshop some ideas, but don't get in the habit of being at the board for 30, 40 minutes. We just don't work like that, right? Kids have to work by doing and applying. Sure, they need to see it first, but let them experiment, let them troubleshoot, because they'll learn as they talk to each other, they'll learn as they kind of fail through some things and teach themselves how to get unstuck. And you can kind of insert yourself as you circulate around the room to check in with students to see how they're understanding the instruction and the delivery of the instruction. And that's great feedback. That's in the moment feedback for you. Also, when I talk about movement and mobility, getting out your classroom. If you can, I know it's a big ask. I know we do a lot of things already, but if you can go check a colleague out, go check how they do it, and check somebody in your subject area, check somebody outside your subject area, check out somebody who teaches a different age group altogether. The people with the biggest bag of tricks are the elementary school teachers. They know how to build community, they know how to be short and sweet, and they just know how to manage the space, right? I'm still working on my classroom management, or I think we call it classroom leadership. I have really good community building with young people, but working on my routines, trying to refine my routines, because I know my mind can go everywhere, as you can tell. Also, make sure, seek feedback. I know that teaching is very personal, and we put so much effort into our curriculums and our curricula and our lesson plans, but, if you find someone that you trust, throw some ideas back and forth, get some feedback. Again, it's about movement of your ideas, movement of your body around with different people, because different people will give you different insights. All right, I want to keep this short. And again, we're talking about the progress mindset. With the progress mindset, it's nothing new. It's akin to the growth mindset, but I really want teachers to hold that idea of like, I don't have to be perfect every day. I got to show up as my best self, show up with the best material that I have planned, and then you'll get so much feedback in the room, and it's okay to call an audible. It's okay to change things on the spot, given the feedback you're getting, whether it's nonverbal feedback, kind of observations, or just verbal feedback, as in, Mr. White, this ain't working. And you'll be surprised. You can go through a full day of 4 or 5 classes, and you've tweaked it and changed it throughout the day, depending on what kids need, depending on the feedback the students give. All right. So I'll keep this short. The last thing I want to say to you, why does this matter to me as a Black male educator? As someone who historically has been shut out, or the curriculum hasn't looked like me, or tried to develop the skills based on the talents I have, I think it's really important to marry your skills and strengths with the students' skills and strengths, but then also try to find places where there's gaps and there's opportunities to co-collaborate, co-create. And I'm not saying co-create curriculum. You can get the kids' insights and their input to help you based on what their needs are, again, with their academic, social, emotional needs. But when I say co-create, be open to getting that feedback. That's just the way. That's just the way of teaching, right? It's such an intricate, precarious back and forth. And it can be really fun. But if you're somebody who's a perfectionist or somebody who's really married to the ideas, it can be really tough. So besides the point, as a Black man, because I know that I had certain gifts and I know the way the delivery of the instructions didn't match my student needs, it was really difficult because it felt like I was trying to be forced into a particular mold that didn't work. And I think the best teaching is when it's tailored, when it's catering to the students. And that doesn't mean it's a one-size-fits-all, but differentiating instruction is tough, and that's a big challenge. That's always a way to stretch yourself, is how do you differentiate, and how do you get really, really clear in your instructions, and how do you get really, really good at anticipating what kids may need based on your prior experience. All right, so I'm D. White. I'm a Black male educator, proud Black male educator. You can find me at justblackthoughts.com, and take care of yourselves. And remember, you're just trying to move the block one bit at a time because of the progress mindset. Peace.